Hey,
Hey, you, what is happening, crew? Welcome back to Sunday Live with the boys. Love you, Dad. Happy New Year to you, good sir.
salute to everybody out there.
Salute to all of you.
Cheers.
Okay,
Yeah, it's a,
got some
there you
Portal
go.
Rojo.
You're going light on us.
We're gonna spill all the beans
Hmm.
hyperactively.
Expecting a big show, are we?
Oh, always. Always with you, Ace.
Right? Yeah, I love you too, son. Yeah, first week of a brand new year, man. There's going to be good stuff to talk about in this show and going forward every day. It's just going to be amazing. I'm so
Yeah, it
looking
is.
forward to our lives expanding. It's all expansion, guys. No contraction. We're not going backwards. We're going forward. It's all good. All
Mhm.
right, who do we have in the house?
Crypto AI, welcome to the Staple Crew. I'm Alan. We're all Alan. Yeah. I didn't fall
That's
too far from the tree myself.
dude. That's
Um,
perfect. No,
yeah,
I think
we're all bootsy, Dad. We're all bootsy.
well. It's I think that's a quote from there's a crypto channel that I used to watch years ago religiously called. He's an Asian dude. He's cool as shit too. Oh, did I say the S word? What is that guy's name?
God
Well,
damn
that
it.
no, he's really cool. Cryptos Are Us is the name of the channel,
I like it.
and yeah, and his name. God, that's terrible. I can't remember. He opens every show. Oh, George. He goes, "Hi, I'm George. We're all George." That's the
We're all,
opening show. So I think that's why that guy said, "Hi,
that's,
Alan."
I love it. We got Northern in the house. Thanks for the nice comments, Mike. We will be seeing you in Vegas. Love to see it, brother. Yeah,
Nice.
we got the Sith Lord.
So
We got
good. It's going to be good.
we got the Code Man in the house.
Nice.
Glitching the Matrix, a fine handle.
Yeah.
Um, Ripple working with bricks? Question mark. What is the latest update? Let's. We got Conscious in here.
I think Northern just got back from Vegas with his two uh, daughters. He was hanging there with his daughters, showing me a bunch of pics. That was awesome. Conscious, right on,
Nice,
brother.
brother.
Yeah, he's
Hey,
going to be in Vegas.
Krasowski.
He and I had a great conversation a couple of weekends ago about Vegas. Man, we're gonna Brent. Wait, man, I can't wait for you to meet some of these people I've met in person.
I can't
Just
either.
yeah, they're gonna
I
love
can't.
you. Wait till you guys meet my son. Yeah, good
Yeah,
stuff.
I'm a big love man. I love people.
Yeah,
Um,
same.
that was my gift in life.
Right,
Uh,
Brenda,
Brenda
are
like
you?
SRP as well.
I
Uh,
think Brenda coming to Vegas? Brenda, are you coming, girl? She was there last year.
XRP Vegas 2024 exclamation mark. That's a good sign.
Yep. Yeah.
DZNX1, thank you so much. We love being here with you all.
Right
One
on.
to
Brenda's going to be.
Blanco. Hey, there you are. That's where you are. You're there.
Yeah. Right on. I
We got
I got to
Charles
hang
from
out
Scurry,
with Brenda.
Texas. We got Solar. Oh,
Yeah.
a lot of people are here.
Yeah. Yep. Ah, that's cool, man. That's good stuff.
Thanks for the good
Sam, I wish
energy,
you could
Sam.
come. Yeah. Sam Rogers, I wish you could come, brother. I know the UK is a long ways from Vegas. One day, though. One day. That'd be all good.
Let's
Yeah,
get it
hit the
started.
like. Okay.
What's that?
Like, you want to approach that whole question Northern Living hit us with at the top of the show there?
Yeah, so what I know so far, so the second trial for scam bankman fraud has been postponed to March 28th. I don't, from what I've read so far, it doesn't seem like he's off the hook. But it sounds like you know a little more about that than I do, Dad. What do we know?
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't they just cancel? Didn't they just? Isn't it done? Or it can be done. I know they postponed it for a later date, but they're talking about just eliminating it. Was the last thing I read. Anyway, here's my tinfoil hat on that whole thing, if you will. He knows, first of all, you can't have the kind of meetings that he had with our friend, Mr. Burns from the SEC. And you can't, his family and his girlfriend have been so connected to that side of things. Let's just say the party with the donkeys, if you will. And he was the current president's second leading campaign contributor. I'm pretty sure that's accurate. And so what I'm trying to say there is he got awarded all these rights and abilities to be in exchange and to exchange legally, okay, although he was outside the US, from Mr. Burns. And there were some favors and some campaigns, and he had all these people on his payroll list. Well, okay, well, let's just do a little math here. Do they really want this trial to continue to where we get to the bottom of all these players and how it all reacted or acted? And do we just want to hey, let's just throw the guy in jail now already, huh? Can we just make that happen? Because more discovery wouldn't look good on any of us now, would it? No. So that's exactly what's going on, in my opinion. Call me conspiratorial, call me whatever, but they're using the term, oh, well, 2 more years of hearings would only just cost the taxpayers more money. Yeah, that's exactly the narrative they're putting out there. Okay.
Hey, Dad, after they've accused us of laundering money for the last couple of years,
right.
solidly, and then the exposed trial of a money launderer.
Right. Yeah. But no, it gets even worse than that, right? They decided that, FTX, actually, I believe it was Sequoia. No, it was, anyway, the firm behind them, one of the firms behind them, I believe it was Sequoia. But anyway, it doesn't matter. They have come forward, being the G-men, we used to call them back in the day, the government, if you will, is coming forward and saying, oh, hey, by the way, before anybody gets any of your money back, because by the way, they found billions of dollars laying around, and all those people that got scammed by Mr. Bankman Fraud, a lot of those people are going to get money back. But guess who got in line before the people? And no, you can't make this up. This is the world we live in now. The IRS. Oh, that's right. The IRS wants $28 million straight up front before anybody gets a dime. Yeah. Wait a minute. Aren't they an offshore company? And then I was like saying to myself, they're out of the Bahamas. Okay, but the banking was done in Cali. But wait a minute. Why is the IRS jumping in front of all these people that got defrauded first? When all you have to do is give the money back to all these people who were defrauded for billions, and they'll pay tax. You're going to get your tax anyway, right? Like, when you think logically with money, unfortunately I do, I'm cursed with that, but you realize that the IRS wants to get their money out in front of it, and then they want to get their money once everybody gets paid for it, because then they're going to have to put that on their stated income for the year, and then that's going to be they're going to be able to write losses off clearly because they will have lost money, but they will have also added to their bottom line their income, and they will have to register that, and they will have to say where it came from, and they will have to pay tax on said whatever at their tax bracket. It's a double taxation any way you want to look at it. I'm sorry, but it just is almost criminal in the fact that, wait a minute, we're not going to get to the top of the true fraud, which is how he was allowed to do so many of the things with, a red carpet on in front of him and shaking hands with everybody that was anybody in the US, because it's going to cost the trial money. All right. Yeah.
Okay.
Just one more thing our government will never bring to the evening news, but you and I can smell it. When you get a big whiff of it, you just get up. Yeah, it just smells bad.
It's just
Really.
one more brick up on our tinfoil hat wall.
That's it. Yeah, it's just so bad.
The proverbial itch.
So that's what I feel about postponing the trial, or I think they're actually going to let that guy out. I think they dropped a bunch of his counts against him, but hopefully, I don't know.
It's like
anyway,
I see that at Goodfellas, but real life.
Yeah.
Yo, OG.
Right on.
Brittany and Golden just got here. MC's in the house.
Nice. Well, case the SEC is a scam, just a distraction. SEC doesn't care if it went. Yeah, it's all stall tactics, all of it.
Yeah,
it is.
That's well put.
Yeah. And yo, crew, sorry about my dog barking at the door. If anyone can hear that,
is that young Brutus?
No, it's Goldie. She's a little round object that if I don't throw it, she, she'll call the Humane Society if I don't get out there and chuck it before too long. That FTX interview with 60 Minutes was classic. I mean, that'll go down. That will not age well, by the way. That will classically blow up in the Democratic Party's face.
Sorry, I missed that. Did they crown him in that episode?
Yeah, it was bad.
Boy.
Yeah. Yep.
Paid off.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. I have to tell. I want to tell a story. What do you got going on, Brent? I have a story, guys, that's just going to blow everybody's minds. It blew my mind, put it that way. And I'm usually one of those guys that can just, okay, wow, I've heard that before, or I understand that, or I get this, and the universe just happens to work like that. That's what the world we live in, right? So I get it. So yesterday, as Brent knows, a very good friend of ours, Brent and I's, Annabelle is her name, turned 70 years old. Happy birthday, Annabelle. And we had a big party over at a good friend of mine's house. And for the 6 years I've known the woman, she says, you've got to get to know my kids. Ellen, you would get along great with my children. She gets on great with Brent, and so they're good people. And I just figured, okay, makes sense to me. She goes, well, you guys talk the same stuff and this and that. So I'm thinking, yeah, okay, that'd be great. Well, her son was there yesterday, not her daughter, but her son was there, and the whole party had gone by. It was kind of getting late, and Elizabeth and I were talking about leaving. And I said, no, I've got to go over and meet Annabelle's son. I hadn't had a chance to talk with him. There's a lot of people there. So I go over to the guy. I say, hey, I'm Alan. She goes, oh. He goes, yeah, man, I heard about you. Come on, let's go over here where it's quieter, where we can talk. Well, an hour later, he and I are talking. And just excuse me, guys, if this just even blows your mind or not. I said, so man, what's going on? I understand you're affiliated or associated with crypto in some way. What's happening, man? And he goes, well, I don't even know where to start, but what do you mean by that? And I go, well, are you an investor or what are you doing? He goes, oh, well, let me tell you my story. His longtime fiance, I guess they just broke up, but she is the, how do I put this? He told me that her title, but she is the director of Coinbase. I'm like, what do you mean? Like functions director or whatever it was, like head of the whole deal. Like, and I'm like, what? Yeah, I live in New York. And I was like, oh, wow. Okay. All right. That's kind of cool. So did you get like stock options? Oh yeah. Hell, we were pre-IPO, the whole thing. And I met all those guys. I know all those guys and everybody in the house. And I was like, wow, man, that's really kind of a cool connection and this and that. I started telling him my stuff. And he goes, yeah, but see, that's the tip of the iceberg. You heard what my sister does, right? And I was like, no, what does she do? Well, she and her husband go around the world setting up green alternative energy sources, whether it be solar, whether it be hydro, whether it be geothermal, be it whatever, and mining companies and mining facilities for third world countries globally.
Wow.
I'm like, that's your sister? And he goes, yeah, pretty cool, huh? And I was like, yeah, man, I'm going to need her number too. So I'm like, just like knocking these names off. And so this is one of my good friends' daughter and son, right? This is the crypto world that we all live in. So he goes, oh yeah, he's telling me these stories, and they were in Uganda. They were all these different. Uganda, by the way, is just going crazy right now, he said. But also there's, what's the place where Jimmy Jones, what was the country where they all drank the Kool-Aid and died? Central America somewhere. It's terrible. I should know the name of that country. But anyway, that country has just hired out to use all of their extra resource electricity for crypto mining. And I notice I said crypto mining because it's not exclusively Bitcoin. And he said, well, here's the really cool part. One of my good friends created Ravencoin. Have you heard of it? And I'm like, no way. Really? Mm-hmm. I know Ravencoin quite well. And he goes, well, he came from, what's the other one? Caspa. And he started with a bunch of guys and he said, well, I'm going to join on with Ravencoin because he had already started Ravencoin years and years earlier. It just didn't go anywhere. And then he jumped right back into this. And now they're all mining, which is pretty much what we've been talking about on this show, Brent, is they've all been mining the alternate coins, if you will, to a greater degree because it pencils out. The competition isn't as great. As we all know, they're all Guyana. Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought I got that right. But Johnstown, yes. Anyway, they ended up mining these alternate coins at a higher profit rate than Bitcoin because they're not having to compete with the likes of Russia and Texas and all these other massive mining facilities that essentially have bought up all the ant miners, the 19s. Okay. So he was like, yeah, man, it's getting really competitive. There are nations involved now. It's not just companies and corporations. And the days of just having a little spillway dam and creating a geoelectrical or whatever to mine your coins is kind of over for the Bitcoin angle because it's gotten so big. And I said, well, that sounds really cool, man. So you fly around, you guys do all this stuff together. And he says, oh, no, that's what my brother and my sister do. My brother-in-law and my sister do. I help them occasionally, but this is where it gets good, guys. He goes, I hooked up my longtime buddy that I went to college with, university with. We kind of got back together because he's a big time trader. Okay, I can't name the bank. He swore, he's like, don't tell anybody on your YouTube channel who I work for. And I'm like, well, okay. So I won't tell you the big time bank, but it's a massive bank out of Germany. And it starts with a D. You can probably figure that one out. And then there's they got together with a company here in the US, which is a company that I talk about all the time. And that may or may not initials may or may not be Citadel. So that company are working together. Well, this guy used to work for both of those companies, and now he's created his own. This is where it gets fun. He hooked up with a group of investors who work on a quantum computing format. And in that format, they were able to generate trading bots based on direct bank live connections. Are you guys with me on this? So the bank that he's currently working for, that I can't talk about in Germany, and the Citadel company are placing trades live, and they have access to that data feed. So they know when they're placing a trade or getting out of a trade. I'm generalizing this whole story. He and I talked about that one topic for like 45 minutes, and he goes, dude, I can't tell you any more than that because you're already figuring all this out. And it's all completely AI generated on their end. And where it's leading them to, which is really fascinating stuff, guys, it's leading to everybody sees the build out of the top 20 and 30 coins globally. But what it's leading to is all the companies around the world that are going to directly profit or will be needed because of what they do to support this future of crypto network. Well, this thing is generating the data saying you need to get into this stock and that stock and that stock, because that's what the infrastructure is going to be necessary building crypto forward. You're going to need these companies, whether they're in crypto or not, they will be. And they are future great investments because of what's coming with blockchain, as we know. And that's all I can say about what they're doing, but that's huge. I hope you guys stayed with that story. By the way, he's on my speed dial now. This is like somebody I can talk to, and he's going to introduce me to his friend who's the broker. They work out of New York. So that's going to be fun. So those are the kind of people that you meet. And once I started talking crypto with him, he's like, wait a minute, how do you know? Like when I started telling him all, like I listed the top 5 mining coins. And he's like, how do you know that? Like there's nobody knows that. I'm like, well, that's what I do, man. He's like, well, what do you do? And I'm like, well, I follow crypto. It's my passion. It has been for years, since pretty much 17. Every day I follow it. And he's like, no way, really? So then he started, well, what are you up to? What's going on? And then once he found out I had a YouTube channel, he almost shut up. He's like, uh-oh, look, you can't say any of that stuff. And I'm like, and I'm the guy who's a yacht captain, is used to dealing with very famous people, that I'm like, no, man, if you don't want me to use your name or your companies or anything, I won't use any of it. But I will tell you that I want to stay in touch with you. So I don't want to risk any relationship that you and I are going to have in the future. So let me know generally what I can talk to my people about, because I'm going live tomorrow morning. And that's where we are today. So when he said, basically everything I just told you is what he allowed me to say. You can imagine what else we talked about. It's big, guys. There's big players involved here. The whole top end of the financial network is pulling out of I talk about this all the time. They're pulling out of industrial real estate, as we all know. Commercial real estate's like, right? Like they're pulling their money out of all of that. And I don't know if you guys heard, he confirmed this with me. I said, a little bird told me that BlackRock had standing on the side like $2.3 billion already set aside for going into the ETF immediately. And he goes, oh, you know what I heard? Yeah, I heard that they got out of their commercial real estate contracts for the whole first quarter of 2024 to pull that money out. And I was like, wait a minute. How do you get out of a losing financial thing like that? And then I was like, in the middle of asking the question, I went, oh, yeah. They just print the stuff, Al. What are you thinking? So they're like, you know how it is. The big corporations can't make bad trades. I mean, if you guys know this, Goldman Sachs went 3-4 years without having a losing trade. There's only one way you can do that. There's only one way. And that is, if you start to see the trade go down, you call Janet up and you say, look, I need $5 billion to make the number go the other way.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they do. Like,
Yeah.
Sorry. That's my perception of what I know of the liquidity of the movement of the market. You and I make honest trades that if they go against us, we can't change. But if it starts going against their trade, they pump the stock to the point, as we all know from whatever GameStop. When you start beating them at their own game, they change the game and the rules. So
yeah,
I didn't mean to take the whole show here.
That was great, Dad. Yeah, 3 years straight of all wins. Yeah, that's all you need to know, really.
It's just very fortunate and lucky.
We got some questions, Dad. I had to go back and look some stuff up.
Yeah.
I hadn't even read anything about Stronghold in seriously like a year. Just price predictions. If you have any ideas on that for Cody, Dad. Krasowski wanted a little breakdown of the BIS. I feel like you know that better than anybody I know. And then differences between Bitcoin and, say, Dogecoin. Really, the big ones are transaction speed, but also scarcity. Bitcoin being very scarce at 21 million, and that like coins like Dogecoin. Dogecoin kind of differs in that it's continuously printable. Like there's no set limit to how many Dogecoin are going to be created. So those are the things that I look for. It's actual functionality. Is it going to be scarce? Is it not? To me, those are the big ones.
Yeah.
And then isn't it Sheeb is the fork, the direct fork from Bitcoin, right, Dad?
Who?
Shiba?
No. From Bitcoin?
Yeah, it was like that's how it was created. I think was
no. There's only two. There was only two hard forks. That to my knowledge, right?
Mm-hmm.
There was Litecoin, and there was Bitcoin Cash. Are the only two hard forks.
Mm-hmm.
Now the others forked off of those, to my knowledge. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Stronghold. People are giving me a lot of credit for Stronghold because I did that video back in September. It was like, dude, it's like 7x since you did the show on it. And I told everybody in the show, don't buy it. Like, I'm not giving you financial advice, but I'm glad you guys did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's at Stronghold's 5 cents. Built on
right.
Stellar. And kind of the promise of creating value and efficiency are the big to knows on Stronghold.
Yeah.
man, anything connected to Stellar, I mean, it has its question marks, right? But it doesn't seem like it's going to get this same SEC strong.
Yeah.
It might, so that they can promote these other bigger projects.
That's right.
Kind of to your point on the predictions, Dad. But I think maybe, hopefully, Stellar can escape that. It's just been a project that
Yeah.
since the beginning of getting into this.
Yeah.
Christian made some notes on it. Nice, bro.
Stronghold is more than just the, somebody just posted, Midwest Kevin. It's more than just the liquidity pool for XLM. It is that, but it is bigger than that. It's also, if you look at who invested into Stronghold, including Ripple and what they did at the parent company, if you will, aside of things, they got big plans for what they're going to do with Stronghold. Christian, that's great that you sold out in a profit. That's awesome. I love hearing that.
Yeah.
Personally, I wouldn't have sold it all, but hope you didn't sell it all. Unless you think a big dip's coming, you're going to get back in. Because I think Stronghold's, that's a stronghold, is what that is.
Yes.
Let me talk about the BIS just real quick off the top of my head. The BIS was created after World War II, or during, actually. I believe it was created officially in 1944, if I'm not mistaken. And there was originally a dozen countries that further went into 15 or 16. They are the original, what I'm going to call imperialist nations, if you will, or the founders of central banking. And they had decided, well, we're gonna be the world's authority on who gets to do what with money. Self-proclaimed, okay, and they got together in Belgium and Switzerland, and so there's a lot of European influence, including the Swiss, the Germans, the Dutch. They invited, believe it or not, the Americans in. It wasn't like it was built on America. One of the few banking things that wasn't actually built or created from the American system, probably in a good way. That's probably a good thing. It was City of London based, so you guys probably know how I feel about that. They have claimed to be the authority on what is value, what is valuable in everything. And if they say this is money, it has been the standard since the mid-40s that is money. And everybody can call that collateral now. And having a blessing from the BIS means that the ECB and the IMF and everybody else has to listen to what they have to say, essentially. They are the peak of the pyramid with the eye and the, those guys. They tell the WEF which way to run, basically. The WEF does not rule the world. The WEF doesn't do anything other than slap themselves on the back and tell everybody that they're in control of all things, and they're absolutely in control of nothing. And it's only the fact that we read articles and we tell each other that they're important in life that they become important in your life. Like everything else, I believe. Your life experience is your life experience. Your life experience is not identical to somebody across the planet or even down the street. So what you take in as information or authority or governance or people who are in your mind smarter than you is as to your own detriment. Is the way I like to put it.
Mm-hmm.
So those people do not rule you. However, they do mean a lot when it comes to you trying to sell something you own, because they brainwashed everybody else on the planet that what you own is good or bad collateral. So I'll leave it at that. That's who those guys are.
Those
Not
guys.
to be messed with, by the way. Yeah.
H-bar, yes, Cheryl. Would love to hear Alan's take on XDC. I liked your prediction on it, Dad. Talking about like one of those potential, 20 to 30x.
Yeah.
But also its connection to RippleNet, and its relationship, the how and why.
Yeah. All of that. Okay. XRP has, in my opinion, everything the world needs as far as the movement of money going forward. Period. It's got everything it needs. It's got liquidity. It's got use case. It essentially, I've explained this many times on the show, but I'll boil it all down. Essentially, XRP can be any value of anything that you would like it to become. And then it can become transmitted anywhere in the world. And seconds later, that can appear to be whatever form of cash you would like to receive that in. Boiled down, that's what XRP is. And there's no limit to its liquidity, which is the brilliance of XRP. It doesn't need backing or financial millions behind it or the big debt Ponzi scheme behind it. It says this goat is worth this and the hide off the goat is worth that, and that guy is willing to pay it, and this guy will get cash, but in between it'll be XRP. Getting there to there. That's what XRP does. And that's what people tell you, oh, it could go to tens of $50,000. It could, if the entire world adopts it as to be the value of things. Because what is the value of all things on the planet? A lot of digit. Well, it has to assume those digits to transact and become the next digit on the other side of it. So is XRP going to hundreds of thousands of dollars? No, I don't believe that, because it will never be the only means of transport of currency or digit value. It will be a big player. It will be, in my opinion, if the BIS and the IMF and all the people that I just described to you stay in power, in particular in the Western banking system, XRP will be massive because they like it. They're not opposed to it. They're still trying to figure it out, but they don't hate it. They really don't. Which, when everybody tries to tell me, oh yeah, well, this coin is corrupt, I only like XRP. I'm like, well, dude, I texted somebody earlier today. It's like, name an investment that's not corrupt. And we could get gray and old a long time before you came up with an investment that's not corrupted in some manner or regulated or controlled or manipulated. That's what man does. That's what we do. It's like I like to refer to the fact that lipstick is manipulation. Period. It is. I'm glad they wear it. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, it is like, that's to the degree that everything is manipulated, right? Yeah. H-bar. Yes.
That was so well put, Dad.
Thanks.
When you get into XRP and you realize the seriousness, breaking down the utility use of it being, the internet train tracks to move currency globally.
But I didn't answer the XDC question. Okay.
What do you think?
What XDC does is help. Okay, it does a lot of things. First of all, Quincy is a big part of that whole thing. Brilliant young man. He's going to be at the I don't believe in everything Quincy says. There are a lot of things he says that I'm just like, dude, what? Please. But he's so spot on when it comes to what the movement of money and how it will move. Brilliant young man. I call him a kid. When I look at him, he looks 20, but I don't know how old he is. But he's going to be a speaker in Vegas in 24, by the way. And I think I mentioned this before, but his 20 minutes on stage last year was the highlight of the show for me. It truly was. The man understands where it's going and why it's going there to a level that resonates with me a lot. And I really appreciate his knowledge. He's a big player in XDC. And he understands, and they're working with the likes of R3, Quant. All of that is what's helping solidify the back end of said liquidity. All of that is this network in which they know they're going to need more than just Ripple to adopt this on a global basis. You know what I mean? You can't change the value of money and the transactions of things overnight, right? Like somebody hit me with a question. Oh, wow, man, XRP's been around forever and it hasn't gone anywhere. It's not going to change banking. You're wrong. It's like, well, you can't turn a giant ship around in a tight corner. You're trying to change the value of transactional banking globally with people that are older than I am, and they're connected to the sanctions like the BIS and these people that have been doing it one way. The ship's been going this direction for a long damn time, and nobody wants to turn the wheel because they're afraid that their wealth might go away. You know, any adoption to something new, that when you became a billionaire over the way we're doing it, the ship going this direction, you're not willing to really turn the ship. Why would you do that? You have generational wealth with the way things are. And that's really huge, guys. It really is. Yes, Quincy is not only, he's bigger than just somebody said he was a developer. He's a bigger part than that in XDC. But yeah, I haven't spoken to him. I'd love to. One day I will. He's one of the people in the space that make me know that we're going to be just fine. Yeah.
Thanks for the question, Triple B. Love it. Yeah. You know, on that point, you know, where we get all romantic about our particular coin, and I mean, what I was just saying about XRP, you know, when you start wrapping your head around what it actually is and does, it's so huge. But in my head too, it's like, I'm continuing to look at investing in, you know, just look at DeFi and look at, you know, what Ethereum and Cardano have done, you know, creating platforms where you can build decentralized applications. Like, people are going to want to use different types of tools and want to do different types of things and have all types of different businesses. And we all have different, you know, wants and needs and means of exchange in our countries. And so there's so much. And then you get into stable coins and how important that's going to be. And that's something that I really like what you've talked about on the channel with it, Dad. You know, just the potential to have something to stabilize the dollar.
Yeah.
Is, you know, is just as key as anything in this. It's so important.
Somebody had I don't know how many people are in the live today who saw the video I put out yesterday, but somebody asked me a question, and I thought it was a really good question. And I can't just text 200 questions. You know what I mean? You know, it'd take me all day. I got a lot going on, but I'm going to answer it now. And essentially, they were asking me, how is it that you can like Bitcoin, Cardano, and XRP? Like, how is it you like all three of those? And let me explain them in this simple way. Currently, today, I don't know what the future brings. Bitcoin is a storage of wealth. I don't know that it's the best way to get wealthy in crypto. I really don't believe that to be true. I think it's a storage of wealth. Okay, that's what it's good for. Cardano is a governance network. We're going to create fair voting, individual ID. We're going to create government systems that are fair and honest on an honest platform that cannot be manipulated. What we've allowed over the last 1,000 years is we've allowed people that we trust to run our networks, our lives, if you will. The distribution of wealth and banking and food and energy around the planet has been entrusted to a king or a governance or whoever. What Cardano's doing is saying, no, we can't trust this to man. They have failed us for far too long. We need to get governance in the people's hands, but through a blockchain vote. And what they're doing is they're saying the system will be impenetrable by human. Digitally, it just makes more sense that it would take every 8 billion people's lives equally. Where currently man manipulates to the point where I don't like those people so much, or I don't like those people because of the way they look or where they come from. That's what Cardano's setting out to do. Cardano doesn't want to be money. Cardano doesn't want to be Bitcoin or XRP. And XRP wants to be the transactional value of everything that moves on this planet. They're all three different coins. So people ask me, well, why would you want to own all three? Well, I just explained all three do totally different things. And as simply as I can put that, I just did.
Yeah.
They're different.
The one that popped in my head, Dad, was people, we all need the ability to borrow and to lend, and we've seeked that primarily through banking. But, when we hold this stuff and we learn how to become our own banks and we look into these places where liquidity pools are created and, loan services are created, predicated on crypto, that's a whole nother avenue that affects real estate and all of that. And it's like, yeah, you could go and spend all your XRP doing it, or you can do it another way.
Yeah.
So it's, like you said, it's very different. Very different in this case. I think the intelligent thing is to look at all of them. Like whenever you guys write new projects down, what was the one we just OG wrote? Arc Block ABT. Gonna check that out.
Yeah. So somebody, Frady Cat just posted something, and this is exactly what I just explained. Okay. I don't respect Charles Hoskinson. That's fine. But the systems he's creating, he can't stop. Mm-hmm. That was my whole point. It's digital. It's out of man's control. This is something that he can't make it go away. See what I'm saying? It's beyond public manipulation of one man. That's the beauty of governance, of where it's going. We need to take the power out of just a few's hands and put it in everybody, all 8 billion equally. It's his whole plan. Now, whether you like him personally or what he's built or the way he did it, that's up to you. You can like or hate whoever you like. But that was the point of the coin. And he's succeeding in the sense that he's creating it almost identical. It's so open source that he doesn't own any of it. It's brilliant, man. I just really think you guys should look into all these coins as deeply as you can, and then really look at what their value is for what they're trying to achieve and who can control it. If somebody can control your coin, it's not a good coin, in my opinion. But again, just my opinion. But and another thing too, like I got to say this. I say this every show, and it's so important for all of us to understand. It doesn't matter what coin you love. It doesn't. It does matter if you simply hate another coin. It does matter, because you're not affecting the other coin. You're affecting you. Your hatred for something that, you want to study what's wrong about this other person or project or government or neighborhood or car you don't like or team or what, that is destroying you from the inside out. And I see so many people do it now, and it's really time that we've had the internet long enough, guys. We've had it long enough to where we need to outsmart it now. We need to not just fall victim to this, tit for tat thing that's going on. We need to grow beyond it. And you should be thankful or happy for other projects that really succeed or don't succeed. And I feel bummed out when I see, scam, bankman, fraud is a hard guy to like at this point. But there was a time when I was like, man, that guy could change some stuff. And, it's a shame the way all that went down, but I don't wish him ill well. I really don't. Then again, I didn't lose a lot of money, but then again, all my crypto and investments have all of that in common. If they go to zero, I knew the chances, I knew the risk. I understand what I'm invested in. So anyway, enough with the sermons today, Alan.
Yeah.
Be whatever you want to be. Don't listen to this old man.
I love what you, and one of the another little feature that would love to see happen, just to really shake the system, is what you and Frady were talking about with, you brought up voting, and if we could create and push a honest ledger, for a voting system, and the challenge being to the politicians who don't want to use it, it's like, whoa, what are you scared of? Scared of losing? You scared of not being able to, run this whole thing the way you want to run it? It comes back to us running it, the bottom up, and that's, on any team like that I've ever been on. When I was the weakest link, I was trying to improve, and that's where, now with all these projects, it's like, okay, open mind. It's so special to see how much innovation has come from it. The fact that there are people, writing code to try to affect banking and try to affect ownership, trying to affect honesty, trying to affect voting, everything. This is going to touch everything. And you were talking about in your last video, Dad, you were calling it a new frontier, and I've been calling it the new economy. For a lot of us in here, this thing's a done deal. This is writing on the wall for a while. And for all of us who've, get irritated with the blocks being up on the wall of, the corruption and the, the mafia changing the laws so they win 3 years straight. That it's cool. It's cool that we're ahead of what's coming. We're in that position. And I remember growing up and watching people who were in that position, who were just really sharp and really savvy, and
Yeah.
they were the first people to own computers that I knew, and they were, you know, looking at they're not living their life doing it, but they're looking at their investments daily. They're tracking. They're open-minded to different
Yeah.
projects. They're
Yeah.
looking at the long game, and yeah, I really love how you get into that and discuss that on the channel, Dad. Because
It
it's so
that
important.
leads.
It's so important for us to just remember coming into this
It,
year.
it is.
Is
It really leads me whenever I start thinking big picture with crypto. I reflect back. I know most of you probably weren't investing back then, but it leads me back to '99, and we had the .com bubble, and the man crushed the bubble. Okay, the man crushed the bubble. Period. Right? The system, Wall Street. Yeah, and what they did is what rose out of the ashes, right, was, in my opinion, 5 of the most corrupt companies in the world. They rose from that dead ashes to basically steal your attention span and all your information and all of your lives and use it to their benefit and their gain. That's essentially what happened with .com. Believe it or not, like it or not, that's my opinion. That's what occurred. Okay. But did we sit around and complain about it, or did we create something better and new? We created something new and better. So this crypto era that's coming is going to be different because they're trying to get their hooks in it. They're trying to stop exchanges. What they did to CZ was criminal, in my opinion. And what they're trying to do all of these things. But see, as everybody in this chat knows, we know more than they do about the honesty in blockchain. And they can't stop this one. They can't slow it down, to be honest. Well, they have slowed it down to some degree, but there's going to become a time when it will all be adopted, and it will all be run like this, which is the way you and I want to see it occur. And that's going to be better for the little man up than it's ever been before. Is it going to be perfect? No. Is there corruption in his system? Yes. Is there always going to be corruption with mankind? Of course. But like you said, Brent, we are in a different era. This is different. And it's up to us to keep the wholesome, the innocence of crypto alive with us all. Because industry's coming and corruption's coming, and they're going to want to promote their favorite five little coins to squash all other coins. And it's going to be up to us to keep those coins that they adopt honest. And it's really going to be,
we watched that happen in our lifetime. That
a couple times. Yeah.
That is so well put. I was thinking about that very thing and just fired up last night. Just fired up. I was in my kitchen once, and my kitchen counter has this L on it, and I was looking at the L, and so I was thinking, I was like, okay, this is the short end where we all have to walk through the mud of we're praying for rain, but all the old legacy money is making us walk through this long path of mud. And then the long way on the counter is us working with the mud people on all of it. And not only us all in here, like, we all, while we're in here, we understand the levels of corruption, and so much of the passion that I had and have today, and why I was watching videos and pissed off about it all last night, was there was also, this gap, there's this long road, on the side of my counter, but then there was also, I was picturing this road where there's the unknown, there's nothing, the off the counter where, I think we talk about law of attraction and things in our Patreon channel. And a big part of doing that is creating from the unknown. When you're creating from your known, you're acting in ways that have been, instilled upon you by society and by systems and by corruption and by all these different mechanisms that turn us the way they want us to turn. And so,
Right.
to your point, Dad, I think it's just so special for us to all remember, instead of ranting and being pissed off about it. I just remembered that very thing, and it's going back to preserving the innocence of it and looking back at what it actually is,
Yeah.
and attempting to bring honesty to trade. Money moves the world. It makes the whole
Yeah.
world go around. Why we go to work, why we do things, revolves around it. And so, keeping this tool as best we can, and continuing, we might all do great on the top 5 and, be kicking it on our yacht. But those other projects that are innovating and trying to keep a very tight, honest, system of trade between you and me is going to be so important to support forever. And I think, especially have like a channel like we do, and as long as we have it and do it, we need to continue to talk about them and support them. And we want to hear all the ones that you all are passionate about, the use
Right.
case, the utility points, all of it.
There's well said. And there's so many people with so many great projects out there, and they're all being created with the idea, not all of them, a lot of them are just trying to pump and dump, obviously, but a lot of them are trying to just better humanity. And what a great concept, because now we're creating a Bitcoin unbreakable code that is creating a better way to do things and a better way to appreciate your fellow man. And who can't get behind that? Like, for some reason, the public is really, they're lost. As soon as you start talking blockchain with people, they just shut off on you. But if they really knew the ideal behind it, it's so important for all of us to really embrace this, because it's an opportunity to fix a lot of the broken stuff. And technology's coming whether they like it or not. But I'd like to see more of my fellow man actually prosper from this whole thing. I'll tell you, one of the neat things that I was trying to wrap my head around with that guy last night was for the first time in the history of the world, I think, well, a long time since this country's been around, people outside of the US are going to prosper more than the people on the inside of the US. And that's huge, guys. That's really, I'm in the US, and I think that's really important. And I've traveled a lot around the world, but that is big, guys, really, really big. And the distribution of money around the world is very important right now, because distribution creates decentralization, which is really what we're looking for here. Yeah. It's so cool. There's so much good stuff out there. I was going to go down this whole other road, but it would have taken me 20 minutes to get it out of my head. I wanted to say this. Somebody mentioned about me and my show yesterday about the big picture. A couple of people have. One of the things I wasn't really clear about yesterday that I really wish I had been a little more clear about is it's not coming, it's here. You're living it right now. You're in the revolution. It's occurring. Revolutions, we always think revolution is like when they hang the emperor. No, the revolution was the 2 years prior to that, right? 2 years prior to what everybody goes, oh, well, of course, everybody knows what crypto is. The 2 years prior to that is the revolution. And that's what we're in right now. And it's huge, guys. Where you stand right now is a place in history. I know I've been saying that for a few years now, but it's true. And it's going to change not just your life, but many lives to come. And it's so much fun. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's too much fun.
I was tickled by the one you said about, generations. We've all got our little plan to do our little cash outs, but staying in it, making sure to always have some.
Yeah.
And, when the days do come where it's just so ridiculously unaffordable, that's a huge advantage to your children and to your friends and their children, to your
Yeah.
family.
Yeah.
And, we have the opportunity to be those people and really, the real change we can affect in it, I think starts right there.
Yeah.
Hey, I made this investment here. I want to help you kind of understand it so you can have it or use it or whatever you want to do with it. And that is going to open people's minds to things like crypto, I think, more than anything. Money talks, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, thanks for thinking of me. Thanks for offering this to me. Maybe I will check it out. That's
Yeah.
real adoption. That's real growth.
Yeah. Yeah. Somebody asked a question about the payments with the SEC.
Mm-hmm.
And no, Triple B actually answered it. No, they can't. That's not what the escrow coins are there for, and that's why the SEC wants them to move outside of what they really want to do. Let's remember, Sean's not in the house here today, so I'm going to throw him under the bus.
Don't do it.
Like,
Don't do it.
yeah. One of the things that really bothers me sometimes, knowing what I know about certain agencies, and I don't want to get too controversial with a statement, but people always say, oh, well, yeah, Homeland Security and the SEC and the IMF and look, okay, let's talk about Homeland Security real quick. Those people are simply there to make sure that your mouse tail stays on the wheel, spinning. You think they're there to make sure the cat doesn't come and swipe the mouse off the spinning wheel. But no, they're there to make sure you stay on the damn wheel and spin it the way they want it spun. They're not out for your protection. I've read too many documents about who those people are and why they were created and how they were created and the Patriot Act. Please, okay, spare me. Those are the good guys routine. All right. So when they come after your coin or your crypto or whatever, and oh yeah, let's get that guy, and let's get CZ because he's the bad guy because the IMF said so. Really? But then when those people come after your coin, I get the routine of, well, those guys are crooks. I don't trust the SEC, and I don't like Mr. Gensler because he's coming after my coin now. You see the hypocrisies and all of that? You have to understand, those people work for the people who are trying to keep the system the way it is, the ship going straight.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want us to turn the boat. They want to keep their billions and keep making their billions the way they've always been doing it. And you and I are cutting into their profits. And you and I are going to be the new millionaires and billionaires. And they don't want us in their club. It's a big club and you ain't in it. And that's how it goes. And anytime that you think that three-letter agency is on your side, okay, to help the little guy. Show me where that's ever been the case in the last 10 years in particular. I mean, I'm sorry. Like, don't give me that. Sorry, Sean. I don't believe anything those people have to say about this coin or that coin or the other coin. I know they don't even know what they're talking about.
I'm with same, Dad. Same. But on the other side of it, you know, and I think part of like why I'm so excited, why I love that Sean shares that with us, is that
I'd seen it all before.
That proverbial question of where Bitcoin's origin and reason for creation began. You know, where this all started. That to me is still. You and I talked about it once before at the pool, right? I don't want to know. I don't want it. Like, at this point, you know, to me, it could almost be worse to know. You know,
that's true.
It could be somehow, like, let's just say it's the most corrupt CIA thing ever, right? But but somehow, some way, if that all got leaked, how much, you know, good Bitcoin can do for the entire, like, you know, ecosystem here that we're all trying to promote and keep pure, how much damage that could potentially do, you know, with something like the God coin getting a black eye, you know, or just people's judgment of it, you know, increasing that much more. Those are the things that I kind of like, you know, why I still have a little interest in it, but yeah, I don't want to put my head in the sand, but you know what I mean? It's curiosity. And there's so many people. It's so funny that people are so pro or anti it, and it's going to be fascinating to see how it all turns out. That's for sure. With Bitcoin in particular, I think is going to be a really fascinating journey here.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be, because, you know, trillions of dollars are coming to crypto over the next decade. Trillions. And it's going to change a lot of people's lives. And it's either going to make you happy, or, you know, somebody asked a great question earlier in the chat, and I'm sorry that I didn't answer it then. But yes, I will be doing many videos about exit strategies. I really, really feel that I should have capitalized better on both the bull markets that I've been in 3 bull markets now, but the last one's kind of half bull. But like, I should have capitalized financially more than I did. However, on the other hand, I really am happy with the bag I have. So, not that I own any cryptos, because, you know, you can't prove that necessarily, but I may or may not own a couple. But I'm a guy who understands the market on a macro level better than I've ever understood it before. And exit strategies are something that, when the liquidity stops or slows down, you will know that it's time. And I'm going to do a video here real quick about that. And it's been in my head for a couple of days now, because one of the things I was talking to Brent about with our Patreon yesterday was people. Okay. I hear a lot of channels say we're going into a recession and depression's right around the corner, and, you know, dig a bunker. Okay. Look, I'm going to put this out there real quick, just so you guys get the hang of what I'm saying here. We spent $1.47 trillion more over our budget, if you will, last year. You technically cannot have a recession when you spent more than that doesn't make any sense. like if your bills as a family are $5,000 a month and you spent $10,000 that month, you didn't have a recessionary month, period. Like that math, you see what I'm saying? Yeah, I understand your credit card debt got higher that month by 5,000, but as long as they're spending more than it's costing us all to live, you're not going to have a recession. And you can readily find those numbers. And I'm going to tell you when, in my opinion, when those numbers start to, we haven't even started the incline on them yet. Well, they have, but not to the degree that it's going to be public and the interest rates are going to start dropping. When that starts to occur, you're going to see this bull market take off. And when it does take off at the top, or relatively at the top, you're going to be selling a portion of your stack, not all of your stack. And when you start, because I don't know what your number is. Mm-hmm. But when, let's just say, well, let's talk XRP for a minute. If it's at 60 cents now, right, and it goes to $1.20, probably most of the people in this chat aren't going to sell any of them. Okay, I understand that. But there's a lot of people, it's probably not a bad financial move to sell 10% of your coins right then. Not a bad idea. In particular, when it hits $3.20 or whatever its previous all-time high was, you're probably going to want to sell 10 to 20% of your coins at that moment. Okay? That's just financial wisdom right there. You're right at the new all-time high. It's probably not a bad idea to do that. Okay? But it's going way higher than that. But we don't know what black swan or crazy event they have planned or anything could happen. So to secure some of those profits when you're at a new all-time high is not a bad idea. It just is a good strategy. So like I just explained, 3 different strategies right there. There's so many of them that everybody is different. So I'm going to try and cover all of those as we go forward. Yeah. Yeah, Brenna's got diamond hands. Let's do that. No doubt.
Very good, Dad.
Yeah.
Hoofty had a couple good ones for us. I only know one other person who is invested in crypto, and he only owns Luna and VeChain.
Well,
love it. And I don't want a club. I only want financial sovereignty. That's what I was trying to get at, brother. That's that pure crypto love.
I don't have any problem with VeChain.
No, it's just Luna and VeChain was funny to me. It was good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's gonna hit all the coins at different times too. So exit strategy is like, well, which coin are you talking about? Yeah. I mean, yeah. So I mean, when you start looking at what's happened to XRP as compared to what's happened to Stronghold, you're like, well, Stronghold's kicking tail. I mean, look at Algorand is done nothing. Well, they're bothly kind of related, and you think they'd go up evenly or equally, and they just don't. So we're going to be at different times with different coins. So it's going to be fun, man. I'm really excited. Yeah. What other questions we got in there? Hey, you guys, I don't know how many of you people
age makes a difference. Yeah, it sure does, right? We all slowly remove head from rectum, ever so slowly. Working on it.
Yeah, Jason, that depends on the liquidity in the market. you'll know more at the time as to how fast. By the way, this is just my 2 cents. When it gets past 75, 80 cents, it's going to blow right through its previous all-time high. It's not even going to slow down at $3. That's my opinion right now from what I know about the pressure that's been built up. You have to remember, we missed out on the last bull market. We were in that lawsuit. It has so much pent-up energy in this descending wedge that it's in, that when it pops out of it, big traders are going to be buying it. Big traders are waiting for that. They're not necessarily like you and I. We're XRP fans. Those are people looking for a trade. They don't care what they're trading. It could be 2 dogs running down the street. These people are big time traders. They're betting on one dog or the other. They don't care that it's XRP. They're just looking at this chart. This descending wedge is one of the best setups I've ever seen in trading, period, ever in the history of any trade. That's what I know about it. And anybody that knows anything about technical analysis, when you look at that chart, you're looking at before it slows down, you'll be past $10. That's my opinion. Okay. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right on. We'll be free in the house.
Nice. People act as if blockchain is a taboo topic. Yeah, I think I told the story. I went on this date recently, and she asked me about crypto and all that, and I gave my opus. I delivered. I mean, y'all would have been proud of me. I hit all the fundamentals. I hit the why. You know what I didn't do? I'm not the price guy. I'm the philosophical guy. I'm the help humanity guy.
Yeah.
And so I could have gone into, it's arguably the greatest investment that you could have made in the last 15 years, but I didn't.
True.
The scary thing is, everybody just assumes it's, another form of, corrupted trade in money, currency. And the concern that I have now, dude, is that, that legacy money is hitching its wagon to it. And, when a lot of people come on board, Dad, like, I'm just wondering if they're, those people who assume that, are going to see these institutions trying to sell it. Yes, Blanco, because they want commissions. And, it's not going to be as discernible. It's, in this state of separation from, basically creating the opposite of what the current economy looks like and the tools look like. As those two things merge, there's a little concern in me that, people will just continue to dismiss it because it's, now being sold to you, in the form of things like bonds. So not too scared, but some concern, dude.
One of the things that I learned many, 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 many moons ago about trading is your average person is incapable of trading. Like that all of us as a society, we do the exact opposite of what we should be doing. And we should be selling when everybody's getting in. But we all get worked up in it and we can't. Okay. And you should have been buying, if you'd listened to any of my shows at all, you should have been buying the last 2 years. You have to be a contrarian. Because if you're not, people always sell. Listen to this. This is such good information. People always sell what they're going to need. Okay. And they always buy what's about to be worthless. That's an age-old stockbroker saying from way back when I was learning to be a stockbroker, when I was 20 years old and I was learning, and they all said the same thing. When the public's getting in, you need to get the hell out. And it's sad, but it's true, because people have busy lives and they don't understand what you and I know about this technology and what an incredible price 60 cents is for something. They have no clue, none. And yet their brokers are going to try and tell them, look, you need to get in now. You need to get in now. And they're going to go, no, it's still too risky, right? You can hear that phone call. It's still too risky. I don't believe in it. And when Bitcoin breaks $100,000, that broker's phone is going to be ringing off the hook for people trying to buy Bitcoin at 100 grand.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just the people. Like, that's every trader in the world knows that. But what do you know now? Because you guys are becoming investors. You're becoming savvy investors. And it's so important because you now see the trends. The trends are when the liquidity and the money comes back into the market, you want to be in assets. And when risk off comes into the market, you want to start getting out of the market. And you want to feather your way in and feather your way out. And if you can do that, the rest of your life will be blessed. Because this isn't a one-time home run, let's hit this bull market and I can retire forever. You should never, 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 never look at it like that. Although this could be generational wealth, it could do that. I'm not saying it won't. But what I am saying is you want to catch all the bull markets, all of them the rest of your life. Because, and the next thing might be not even blockchain, like hash graph, right? That might be the new big trend, because, we're getting out of blockchain in 10 years, or not out of it, but it'll be used for less things, more limiting, if you will. This is all wisdom that comes when you get gray hair. Like, you get better at this stuff. You really will. And you'll get to the point where you'll be able to see, oh, I've been here before. I know what this is like. And if you're listening to your buddies at work, man, they're chasing their tail. They're on the rat wheel. They're like, those guys don't know. And that's no fault of their own. They're just not into the technology, and they're not into the knowledge of creating wealth for yourself, without swinging a hammer, Yeah.
Yep.
And that's what I plan on sharing with people. I've been through this, man. I've made a lot of mistakes, people. Like, I should be a very wealthy man, and I'm doing okay, but I should be a very wealthy man, and I'm not. I made some great calls. Don't get me wrong. I nailed the real estate market a couple times, and I've made some great investments, but I'm nowhere near as good as I am today. Today, I see the big picture for what it is. And the whole picture, guys, I know I use this word all the time. The whole picture is liquidity, and it's coming. They have no choice. They have to feed the beast.
Yeah.
They just have to. Like, there's pensions and Social Security, and there's things that have to be paid for, and they have to print it to pay for it. And all of that brings wealth to anyone who owns crypto and assets. And all of that comes to you. And what that does for the market, what that does for society and the system as a whole, is it makes you wealthy, which is, believe it or not, what they want. Why? Because when everybody got wealthy in late 2020, they did what? They blew their wad on everything. They spent their whole money clip on whatever. Everything sold out Because when people become wealthy, when you become wealthy from this crypto, you're going to buy a swimming pool in the back of your yard that's shaped like Mickey Mouse's head or something ridiculous. You know what I mean? You're just like, because that's what we do. When you get wealthy or you make a lot of money, you buy stuff or you create an economy. And you're going to be the new liquidity in the market. In other words, you're going to sell your coins at $15, $20 or $10, which creates liquidity because somebody bought those and you sold them, which made cash that didn't exist, right? So now you've taken somebody else's cash and you've made $10, well, minus 60 cents. You know, you made $9.40, and that $9.40 is now in your pocket. That's not in his pocket, and you're going to do what with it? You're going to spend it because it's the $9.40 you never even thought you'd ever get per coin. And it creates markets. It creates life. And that's what we all do. It's the lifeblood of the world is currencies. That's why I don't ever want to see Bitcoin become money. And I don't ever want to see XRP become money. You need money outside of the system. And I think I explained that yesterday pretty well in my video, that that's when you put your money in that ETF, which I don't advise anyone to do. Please buy your Bitcoin. If you plan on buying Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin. Don't buy ETF. But when it doubles in price, they're not going to give you 2 Bitcoin. They're going to give you cash, which is what I explained in the video, which is their whole plan. Like, look, let's give them some of these fake digits that we can just pull out of Janet's closet. Perfect. And we get the coins. Perfect. Who's going to end up with all the coins?
People who have access to Janet's closet.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, or Jay Powell's, right? Jay Powell's closet, really. But yeah, same difference.
Kowski, when will ISO be released? So they did the messaging system last summer. I'm trying to get it on a second source here, but cross-border full installation, I read November of 25. Does anybody
They just
know?
postponed it again, right? Yeah. It was supposed to be.
I thought it was supposed to be this year.
It was.
Like
right?
March?
It's supposed to be this year. Yeah, February, March. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But it, by the way, it is being adopted. It's being used. It's not like it's just sitting in a closet, collecting dust. It is being used. Yeah.
Cheryl asks, how do you think the stock market will be during this transition?
It's gonna boom. Stock market's going up, kids. I know there's a bunch of people tell you it's going to crash. It's not going to crash. Okay. All bets are off if there's a world war, obviously. If there's a big event like that, all bets are off, right? Because you can't predict that. But short of that, we could see a 20% pullback. Sure, I see that. Maybe even as deep as 30. But here's the thing. Do you know how much money there is in the world? Remember the story I just told you about all the people that got rich? Remember those people got a lot of money. And when they see the stock market go on sale for 20 to 30% off, let's just use XRP for a minute, okay? If XRP dropped 30% tomorrow, are you going to sell your XRP or are you going to buy more? Right? See where I'm going with that? So what's going to happen to the stock market? They got to put their money somewhere. Nobody wants to buy commercial real estate. Nobody wants to buy bonds. What are we going to buy? Real estate? No. Are we going to buy gold? Yeah, maybe a little bit, 10% on the side. What are they going to buy? Where are they going to put their money? They're putting in the stock market. Period. Yeah. And by the way, The Dow is going to 50,000. Period. You heard it here first. It's going nowhere but up because they're printing more money. That doesn't mean the Dow is more valuable. It's just like the price of gasoline. Gasoline is still a gallon of gasoline. Your house didn't get 40% better in the last 3 years. The value of money dropped by 40%. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
All of that value is going into crypto because crypto is going to be the new sweet spot. And the new sweet spot is not real estate, in particular commercial real estate and what I just talked to you about. It's going to be high-end art. It's going to be, high-end stocks, the good stocks, right? The top 7 or whatever. I just read a report Thursday, that China just printed whatever it was, $1.2 trillion, and $500 billion of it went into U.S. FANG stocks. You think stocks are going anywhere?
Yeah.
Maybe in the short term, or if there's a world war. Yeah. I don't own stocks. I don't believe in stocks. I believe in, again, the fastest horses in the race are crypto. And whichever one you like, I like too, probably. I probably own, there's probably not anybody in here that has one that I don't own. Let's just put it that way. Or maybe there's a couple of oddball ones out there, but in the top 20, I probably own those because I believe in those, all the projects. But I don't expect anything to surpass the value in the next 5 years of increase crypto. Nothing's going to beat that percentage wise. Nothing's going to beat inflation other than technology, AI, NFTs, believe it or not, gaming for sure. All the bots that are being created, all the robot stuff, and all that tech that is really amazing stuff that I learned a lot about yesterday. But there's a lot going on with all of that in crypto, and those are going to outperform the Dow and S&P 500 and NASDAQ, in my opinion. NASDAQ being better than the other two because of technology.
Yeah.
And I do own precious metals, but do I think that's a great investment? No, I really don't. If you're rich, you should own precious metals, but I don't think they're going to come anywhere near what XRP is going to do in the next few years. Nowhere near.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It comes down to that scarcity principle of I truly don't believe that there's any way to know how many shares of stock exist company to company. And we know exactly how many cryptos exist company to company.
Yeah.
Exactly how many coins and tokens. That is made abundantly clear. And that is so huge. That's the key.
Yeah. And BlackRock created more ETFs with stocks than there were stocks. Yeah. Now remember, those aren't spot. Those are derivatives, essentially, is what they're selling of stock. We're selling a derivative of stock. They're not even forced to own it. It's crazy what's going on, but it's only going up because of those reasons. Because what is BlackRock doing? They're managing everybody's pension funds. They're taking everybody's pension. They're supporting the stock market. They can't have that rug get pulled.
Yeah.
They just can't. I didn't mean to go on for an hour about stocks, but because I really not a big fan of them. I used to be. Yeah. But
sorry about your Grizzlies, Becky.
What happened? The Grizzlies?
Yeah, in here, Becky. The Montana Grizzlies lost national championship. Rats.
Damn it.
No.
Yeah.
I was in an X Spaces the other day. There's a guy in there that had 450,000 XRP on a ledger. He lost the ledger. Ah,
I heard that story. My stomach just about fell through my shorts. I
good
was like,
Lord.
oh my God. The only thing I can gather from the whole thing that try and brighten the story up is he probably was pretty wealthy if he had 450,000 of them. So
Yeah,
he
a quarter of
probably,
$1,000,000 worth of
yeah. Uh-huh.
XRP.
Yeah. Hope he has a seed phrase, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Call
I
timing.
don't know. You know what I spent the morning looking into, guys? This is kind of fun news. Somebody sent it to me last night, actually, but there's BlackRock's looking into the ETF. Oh, no, sorry, Grayscale is looking into an XRP ETF. By the way, I really like Grayscale a lot. There's a lot about that company that I think is somewhat honest compared to the other ones at the top. And believe it or not, I like Fidelity a lot more than I like BlackRock. I know who BlackRock is. And those of you who are my Patreon members, you heard me go, I did a video about BlackRock and who they are. So, yeah.
Yeah, both my 401ks were in Fidelity. I was really happy with the service on both.
Fidelity understood crypto back in 2015. They were the only people in Wall Street that went, we better start a division of crypto. They've been mining Bitcoin for, I think they started mining it in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's pretty amazing. Yeah. Yeah. Grayscale. That looks like it could be promising for XRP. I can't quite wrap my head around how it would all work, but because being like I said in my video yesterday, in particular, some cryptocurrencies are so much a commodity as well as a token at the same time. It's weird how that would work. But it's good news. Adoption is always good news.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 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 Fidelity's the real deal, Brenda. One of the things that I've always loved about Fidelity is, by the way, those of you who know who Elizabeth's looking into this right now. I was into it years ago, and then I sort of get out of it. But those of you who have heard of Robert Kiyosaki, he wrote a book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. My power just went out, came back on. It looks like he wrote a book that was great, and I really was back into it back years ago. But essentially becoming your own bank and borrowing from yourself. And one of the companies that had allowed you to do that, who liked his theory and his concepts, it was all done through life insurance. But Fidelity was one of the few companies that came out and said, we like that concept. You can borrow against your own account, which is brilliant, by the way, because I'm not trying to say that anyone should dodge paying their taxes, but it allows you a way to withdraw, let's say, at $1 million worth of crypto with Fidelity. You could take, I believe it's up to 20% of it out as a loan. So you could borrow $200,000, and as long as you paid it back within 5 years, there was no interest against it. So that's pretty huge, guys. Now you say, well, you have to pay it back. Well, yeah, but if you just slowly start making payments on your own money, you're paying yourself back. You're not paying them. You're paying, it's like an interest-free loan that you're just paying yourself back. And there's, by the way, if you had 2 separate accounts, you could borrow, if you came to the 5 years and you hadn't paid the whole thing back yet, you could borrow from the other one to pay the first one off.
Pretty slick.
So you were able to use the $200,000 to do whatever build a business or do whatever. So you had income coming from it to pay the loan back off to yourself. Really cool concept. They understood it and they were into it. Yeah. Yeah, I saw that. Northern Living, yeah, I saw they took Matic out. I don't understand why they did that. But
was that a couple weeks ago when Avalanche jumped up?
Yeah. No, that was just the other day, I think. I just heard about it the other day. It was the first I heard about it. Yeah. Yeah.
Similar to 401k. Nice.
Yeah. With a 401k, you can do the same thing depending on who your 401k is with. Yeah. Some are more lucrative than others. Yeah. No, Matic isn't a security. I know they claimed it is, but yeah. Oh, I see where he's going with that. Yeah. No, yeah, they're into that. They're part of that whole SEC raid going on right now. Yeah. Yeah. Just relax. You own XTC and XRP. That's it? All right.
No, I'm loving on them, man. It's, that's a good hold.
Yeah, if I only had 2 coins, it wouldn't be those 2. It's weird. People think, oh, dude, you're like this big time XRP guy. And I'm like, well, yeah, I percentage wise, I don't even think it's my biggest holding, but I believe in it that much. I really do. I'm not just doing this for doing it. It's my favorite coin in so many ways, but it's not my biggest investment. But that's only because it hasn't gone up really. You know what I mean? I hope that makes sense. It hasn't gone up like some of the other coins, which made them bigger percentages.
Right. Yeah, like you said, Dad, it missed the last run.
It did, yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody asked how they joined
forever.
You can go to thestaplecrew.info. That's probably the best way to get to our Patreon channel. And I just want to say this about our Patreon channel. We're lucky to have the people we have in there. We don't post in that thing every day like we probably could. But I just want you guys to know that what you do is you really help us help others, not just ourselves. You know, Brent and I aren't driving Ferraris around town because of our Patreon channel. And it's not our plan to do so. So, yeah. You are helping people more than you think you do. You are. And I'm not saying that other Patreon channels aren't doing wonderful things with the money in which you've subscribed to them. But I know what we're doing with ours. Yeah. And we're gonna teach you guys more in 2024 what we're up to. And I think you guys are gonna be pretty stoked to be part of it. Yeah.
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 I love it over there. When we do post, our videos have been, there's a lot of passion in there. It's fun. It's fun. Even our last video, we told the story about a car that my dad owned, well, our dream car, and that's totally we totally squirreled off into just the woods of
solving the world's problems,
life and crypto, and solving the world's problems, and
we even got into the C word from 2020.
You went 2 times, Dad. You like we got ourselves out of it, and then it was like, oh, you just brought us right back in. It was like,
and by the way, guys, I never talk about that subject at all, ever. Like, and it just started coming on me.
No, you don't. No, it was all good.
That was funny. Yeah. What are these stupid rumors about buyback? Oh boy.
That was the
You
last
want to
thing
get
I
me
had.
started on that, do you? I just so you guys know, you can't offend me by anything you say about anything I say. You just can't, right? I'm virtually unoffendable. So, and I recommend it highly to yourself. If you could find a way to not be offended by anything anybody says to you or about you, life gets real easy. It's amazing.
Yeah, there's a lot more bliss to be had.
Having said that, I am a huge fan of Jimmy Valley's work. I know the man personally, and the man has a heart of gold. He cares about humanity. He cares about people that not only own XRP, he cares about the people of the world. He's an incredible soul. Not that we all aren't, but I know that man to be. So, whatever you believe of what he thinks or what you think of what he is, go for it. Having said that, Jimmy's numbers, when you start looking at $30,000 a coin, people just, their head rattles around. It's not the point of the number. The point of the number was, if XRP was all that is money, wealth of all things on the planet, it would be bigger than 30,000, was his point. He's saying that it is possible that that network could carry the value of all things on the planet, and that it would run at a far, far more efficient manner than we currently have our monetary system trading in. That's his point. It is not the point that, oh, this man predicted $30,000. Oh, that guy's an idiot. What is he on? It's not at all what the man's talking about. I really urge you to read his 40-page report on all of it. And it's brilliant. And he has staff work on it for years out of money out of his own pocket. And by the way, he has nothing to sell you. It's not charging you for it. Sweet. And I just want you to consider all of that. The buyback is a terrible term for what he really meant to talk about there. Everybody calls it the buyback. It's not a buyback. That's the way I would use the word buyback, is not at all, in my opinion, what I would have called that. So, yeah. And somebody just sent me a video that Zach did on it yesterday or last night. And I was going to watch that before today's show, but I didn't get a chance to see it. But somebody said it was really good. Zach covered it. I know Zach and I and somebody else sat down last year at Vegas, and we talked about that whole thing for quite some time. And honestly, I'm pretty sure Zach's understood it to be what it is too. There were so many people that threw Jimmy under the bus for that whole thing. And I just thought, wow, who are you people? And then when I started hearing who it was, I was like, wow, man, that bums me out, because I like those channels. Yeah.
And the comments on that are so good, Dad.
Yeah.
Becky's saying it should have been named Fair Market Proposal.
Yes. Better name. What could be a better system proposal? Value of things could be changed on the blockchain, and here's a way. That would have been a better title for it. There were, Becky's right. What they said personally about him, and there's one channel. Well, I'm just going to say she's Asian, and you guys probably already know who I'm talking about. And she does fabulous work. I love her channel for information. Don't get me wrong. But there were people that just piled on him without even getting the concept of what the man was talking about. And nothing frustrates me more when people are so shallow-minded that they'll jump on a bandwagon without understanding what the person's all about. and what they really meant. When you, God, what's that great quote? Jack Johnson's, one of Jack Johnson's songs, Brent.
What's the idea?
There you go. You missed the point. Now you point your finger at me.
That's always been your favorite line of his.
Classic line.
So
and
good.
It's so true, because it's like, you missed the point. Like it, yeah. Anyway. Oh yeah. Brenda said the name of the channel, but like, she does great work. I don't want to throw her under the bus at all. Yeah. But yeah, she got stuck on that, and I don't get it. I'm sorry. As a human being, I don't see a lot of value in ripping my fellow man down. I just don't see a lot of value in it, ever. If you don't agree with somebody or you don't like something, just go on with something you do like.
Hey, Dad, World Be Free's Melissa, right?
Correct.
Everybody, hey, peace out, Melissa. Her and Simon are doing a show together tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern time.
Very cool.
On Simon Says Crypto. I love what Simon just said too about all that. A buyback would mean the Fed sold XRP in the first place.
Yeah, but it's not that kind of buyback. But yeah,
no,
it was a good point.
No. Yeah, we're gonna check it out, Melissa.
You should stop by that show tonight.
I'll be there.
Yeah. I wanted to comment. Somebody, Cheryl said Zach explained it perfectly. Okay, so you guys should go check out Zach's show about that buyback. And Zach did it. I guess that was yesterday. Somebody sent that to me last night. I started to watch it, and then I was like, I fell asleep or something. I can't remember.
Nice.
But Zach's been doing it.
Love
Here's
Zach.
the thing. Yeah, I do too. They're thinking he's getting a little. Anyway, I love Zach, man. He's like a son, I swear. But his deep dives are so good. They're really good, man. He's got a staff, and it shows. You know.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they're going to be on. They're not going to be on Simon Says Crypto. Looks like they're going to be on FIDA Broadcasting.
Yeah.
Thank
FIDA
you for
Broadcasting.
I would have screwed that up.
Yeah, don't do that.
No. They're on Wednesdays on Simon Says Crypto, right?
Yeah, Simon Says Crypto is on Wednesdays. Great show, Gavin. I was on it last Wednesday, and viewership dropped in half. But, other than that, it was a great show. I got on there, and they all just clicked off, and it was pretty funny. Yeah, the broadcasting, however you want to pronounce that. Yeah, it's a cool show. Melissa and Simon, they really are good at covering the basics. Simon in particular, about how well he does opening a wallet, starting an account, the basics. And by the way, if any of you are frustrated with your wallets or any of that, or lost coins or can't figure out how to get them, go to Simon Says Crypto, because he knows more about wallets than I'll ever know, and or care to know, to be honest. He's really good at that kind of thing. Not my forte at all.
No.
And somebody asked how Elizabeth's doing. She's doing fantastic. We went to that party, and it was weird. We don't drink anymore, and everybody was drinking, and we were the second people to leave. And I thought, wow, that's just not like us. Yeah. Yep.
I'm getting that link for Simon Says Crypto, Becky.
I want to ask a question. Does anyone know what's going on with Lewis? God, I looked at his channel the other day, and there wasn't any recent postings. So I was wondering what happened to Lewis's channel. I know he's been bounced off YouTube a couple times now, but I didn't even find him. Yes, Lewis Jackson. I don't find him to be controversial at all, and I don't know what's happening to that guy.
Yeah, right.
His content is brilliant, man. I really love his show.
Are they trying to slow him down in Europe? Maybe.
Yeah, Becky should know. She knows Lewis. I think she knows him personally. Yeah. Okay. So he does have new videos coming out. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's got a mastermind going. Yeah, he did tell me he was going to go into that. Yeah. Mastermind would imply that you would have to have a smart mind. So that's probably not going to happen on this channel anytime soon.
We're working on it, folks. Especially me. Work in progress.
Yeah. I actually, this is kind of an inside scoop. I had, when his channel first went down, I actually know my boss, one of his best friends, and I've met her a couple times. She's one of the heads, not heads, but she's in the top 5 people of Google. And I like, what? That guy's channel? No way. So I called my boss up and I said, hey, what's that lady's name? Can I get her phone number again? You know, I'd had her phone number because she and I had talked a couple times. And I was like, you know, can I get a hold of her? Because I need to rattle her cage about bouncing my friend off this channel. But anyway, I wasn't going to tell that story, but it's kind of behind the scenes thing. And yeah, I think his channel was up. No, it was like the day before his channel came back up, she sent me an email that said it was a computer glitch. I'm pretty sure is what she said. It was a bot or something, you know, this wasn't even about him. Yeah.
Nomad asks you, do you think the SEC can come after Ripple again, even after a settlement?
No. No, and the biggest reason why I say that is because they have so many fish to fry. Like they got to get busy with, I don't know, 30,000 other coins. So, you know, they pretty much got slapped around by the judge and the system, and they got slapped around for this whole ETF thing, big time, guys, big time. What that judge said the last time about that grayscale case was pretty bad. You don't tell the SEC what that judge told the SEC. And basically, that's why I know there's going to be an ETF, because that judge basically said, you people are completely out of line and you have absolutely no standing here. And what are you people doing to us all? You're wasting our day and our time. You get back in there and figure out how you're going to make this happen with these people. So since then, they've been able to talk and communicate and actually get this thing ironed out. That's why there's going to be an ETF. And everybody says, oh, it's because BlackRock has so much control. That is true. Let's face facts. Gary works for BlackRock. Oh, did I say that? He works for the SEC was created by business to control business. That's all it was done. It wasn't created by, you know, honest-minded, you know, church groups. It was created as a business platform to control stocks so that they had a bigger thumb on top of them so that they could play their game and the rules in the way they wanted to manipulate the game, period. That's exactly the SEC's job. Well, when you know who BlackRock is and you know who they're connected to and you know what the puppets the strings they pull, Essentially, Mr. Burns works for those people in a roundabout way. He doesn't walk into those people's office and tell them no. He does. That's not how that whole upper group works. I know that's not news to anybody here, but just remember, whenever an official says, "Oh well, I'm not going to allow that," it's like, okay, put the megaphone down. And the reality is that you've been told exactly what you're going to do and the way you're going to do it. That's how it all works.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, they need to get running on ETHgate. Yeah, it's a private company contracted to the U.S. government.
Yeah.
Funny. Yeah, those big ones. Like they're all that.
And let's remember who the first director of the SEC was. And again, his last name was Kennedy. And he was let's call him what he really was. He was a smuggler. Okay. Period. Straight up. The man was bringing Canadian whiskey in, into America when it was illegal.
John or Robert?
No, his grandfather.
Oh, his grandfather.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Forget his name right now, but anyway. And
I hear something new about them every day.
Yeah. It was a smuggler. Okay. Right? Let's call it what it is. And that guy became the original first director of the SEC. So, yeah. Yeah, Becky, I'm going to talk to him tomorrow, I hope. We were supposed to chat last week, and I'm going to get a lot more answers.
Sean's in the house.
Oh, Sean. Perfect. Sean's here. I threw him under the bus a while back, but yeah, he'll have to No, I didn't. Too bad. Yeah.
No.
Yes, it was Joseph Kennedy. Correct.
Joseph.
The grandfather. Yeah. He was the first director of the SEC. And it was supposed to, believe it or not, was supposed to be an elected position. But it's always been somebody who has worked for a financial institution of some way or another. Where Mr. Gensler, they railroaded him into MIT, okay, where he may or may not have ran into Sam Bankman's family, okay, but just maybe, for lunch or something. But he, before that, was a Goldman Sachs guy. And when he gets out, is going to be a Goldman Sachs guy, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be, that's what they do. They get these people who are the financial people. And anybody that knows anything about the XRP case over the last couple of years remembers exactly who the previous two directors were, because they threw XRP completely under the bus. And anyway, I don't want to get started down that. They're having a hard time with Simon Says.
Yeah, Simon, are you still in here?
Yeah, Simon, we got a couple people asking about that bot. Simon has a beta bot that has been going pretty well for Brent. Elizabeth and I just started it just the other day. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Yeah, like 20%, I would say so far. So I'm happy with.
Slow and steady.
And yeah, and it's really, I'm not sure. I don't know really how it works. But it seems to be predicated on movement, obviously, so when the market gets a little more movement, then you're making your buys and your sells. And when I started it, we were in a very flat stream, volatility wise. And now we're getting a little movement here. We're getting a little bump in the market. ups and downs. And so it's been fun to watch it the last few months with the action. It's doing a bunch of buys, bunch of
Yeah.
sells. I love it.
Right.
I love it.
Oh, somebody asked a question. I did say in the video I was going to do an XLM prediction, and I didn't have one. I am a fan of the coin a lot. Stellar Lumens back in the day, I used to own quite a bit of it, but I'm less of a fan today. Not because I don't think it's going to be huge, and not because I don't think it's going to be used transactionally on a lower level. The banking obviously is going to be more on the XRP. When I look at it on the chart, it looks just like the XRP chart. So yeah, it's going to have a massive breakout, and for the same reasons, the adoption is there, the community is there, the people have it. But when you see that on a chart, and the descending wedge in which XLM is on, brokers who are independent, okay, or traders who are independent of having a favorite coin or not, are going to see that chart and they're going to go, there's a buy. Or like in Simon's case, there's a bot, thousands of them, that are going to see this thing break out of this wedge, and it's going to buy it because it's doesn't care whether it's XRP or XLM. It just says, here's a perfect trade and I'm taking it, which is going to put liquidity into XLM, and it's going to push it up at a rate that I believe is going to be crazy. Now, I think when I first made the call, it was 50 cents XRP going to 1550, which was a 33x. And that's kind of what I'm still calling for with a good bull market. Remember, that's a bull market without fundamentals of big time adoption and admitted banking use case of XRP. Then all bets are off because it could go into $30 to $50 overnight. So I'm going to say the same thing for XLM, somewhere around 20 to 30 times your money. That would probably be a fair guess, because they're virtually trading identically. Yeah. Let's see. What are people? Yeah. So did we finally get Simon's proper deal in there? It looks like he's handling that. Yeah. Cool.
Nice.
Yeah, Simon's a good man. Simon's a guy that I'm going to say it one more time. He's somebody I trust with everything. He's a guy that I've known for a few years, and whenever something really goes bad or wrong, and I need somebody to talk to, he's somebody I trust. Period. And I don't say that lightly. And he's proven to me and to my wife, who is a massive skeptic of human race, she loves the guy. So, it's really cool that she's set up this relationship with Simon, a business relationship, because we all know what it's like to have a loved one or a marriage. It's difficult. We used to do this, and when I was a ski instructor, you never taught your own wife how to ski. Bad idea. Always a bad idea. So take this as wisdom, guys. When you have something that you want to teach your spouse, or you want them to get XRP or whatever, have somebody who knows XRP, a friend of yours, teach them. It's way easier. They listen more, because spouses have a hard time of just tuning you out when you're really talking nuts and bolts and trying to help them out. And on top of that, Simon knows way more about that side of trading than most people I know. Not trading necessarily, about the wallets and security and safety. So that's what I love about it.
Yeah, I would expand that on. I think it's a family thing.
It's family.
Try teaching a family member. And then Becky added, try being married to a golf pro.
See what I'm saying? That's how it works. And Simon and my wife get along famously when it comes to crypto. You know, she's now getting it. The light bulb's coming out. Well, she's always gotten it, but I mean, she's getting into so many other things. It's just awesome to see her growth in that, in different areas that way. And I'm so happy. I'm just trying to stay the hell out of it. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. We did the trying to teach Elizabeth to play golf one day thing. That was fun, actually. We did it.
That was a really fun day. I thought she did really good.
Yeah. Becky's husband's a pro golfer. Come on. A golf coach? I think she's in Montana too, man. I'd love to go to Montana and play some golf. I bring my fly rod and my golf clubs. I could be there for like, I don't know, 6 or 8 years, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got 102 people in the chat, Dad.
Nice.
Thank you all for being with us. Let's liven this up.
I saw Brittany in there too.
Fun here. Let's do something fun, guys.
What do you got, Brent?
So on Patreon, when we post a video, I always try to include a couple questions, just so people can share and expand about themselves. And this is our time to do that. If you want to get into New Year's resolutions, if you want to get into what you're excited about this year, we also just did a video, just a fun one. We really just wanted to tell the story of, my dad's car and the joy that we got out of it. So if there's any special things that you do with crypto earnings that you think will bring you joy,
all of it.
We want to hear all that. Like we want to give you all a chance to talk and share about you. That's the good stuff. Yeah.
BB, yeah, she saw it.
BB, yeah.
BB
Brittany wrote us a really big quote. I'm going to go back and respond to that today, Brittany. Thank you.
No, Becky, I don't have the car any longer. No.
Sadly.
It was a 911 Turbo S.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody asked.
Yeah, that was the most fun I've ever had driving anything. And I've driven cruise ships and motor yachts. It was the best. It was the best.
I've been in some really fast cars. I was in a, wow. Those of you who know what a poker run is, poker runs can be on anything, but these were in jet speedboats. And we were doing 95 on the water. And you just feel like a mosquito across the top of the water. You're not even in the water. It's a tiny boat too. And it was, I'm a 911 guy all the way. I love, American muscle cars are kind of cool too, but there's something about cornering and braking and accelerating at those rates that I really love. But so anyway, we did a poker run on the St. Lawrence Seaway and doing 95 miles an hour to each stop to get a card was insane. And it's a level of feeling of speed that you just can't explain that when you're on the water like that. The only other thing that ever put me back in my seat like that was BB. Yeah, that car. Yeah. 911s are something special about them. There really are. Yeah, all of them.
You get pinned and it's just, you go silent. You just go. There's no talking. You're just 10-2, eyes forward.
Yeah.
And
I got mine to, we didn't quite hit 190. 185 is the fastest I ever got that car going. We had different exhaust and different tires. It was a 200 mile an hour car. Yeah. Somebody lives on the St. Lawrence Seaway where, Yeah, he knows the poker run I'm talking about. We were staying in, that's kind of a cool story. My boss's best friend was best friends with a few people, but he was a Budweiser guy and they were on a racing team. As you know, Budweiser racing team, not just on the water, but on the road as well. And Paul Newman stayed on our boat for the summer. Well, for 6 weeks as he was filming a movie in Montreal. And so I hung out with Paul Newman for 6 weeks. And what an amazing man. And just a straight up great dude. Just, normal guy, totally normal guy. Loved his wife, called his wife every night, like for an hour. They would talk. I think they were married together like 50 years or something like that. What was her name? Joan. Anyway, I don't remember. That was many years ago. But that St. Louis Seaway is beautiful. I love Montreal. Yeah. And Quebec City, all of that area is so beautiful, guys. If you guys ever get a chance to go there in the summertime. And I went to Mount Tremblant, bunch of area up in there. I never got up where Jason is, up where I didn't get up into Nova Scotia too far. We started going that way and had to turn around and go back. Yeah.
Yeah, so Wayne, ours was a 05.
Yeah.
It was sick. Becky wants 20 acres. Give family some land.
Becky does?
Kal-El wants a 2JZ. Is that a specific car or is it an engine?
2JZ is a no, is that a Nissan?
Yeah,
no.
It could be.
I don't know. What else are you guys looking for?
Sean says, Brent, I'm going to take my earnings and open up a store that specializes in worm farms. I'm going to call it I Got Worms.
Who was that?
That was Sean. I'll convert my SUV into a sheepdog, bro.
No, do not laugh. Do not laugh about that. There's a guy who chats who's in my. He opened a worm farm, like literally
nice.
in our group. In our channel.
No, it's actually that's badass. I was laughing.
Yeah, he goes like 4 different kinds and ships them all over. And he invented this or created this thing somehow. He separates the worms from the soil. But yeah. Could Paul Newman eat 50? No, he only did that in the movies. I will tell you this though. The neatest thing about Paul Newman was I met him. He was introduced to like 8 people or crew members. Okay. And like an hour later, he walks up and he says, "Hey, Alan, where do I get a beer at?" Like he remembered everybody's name.
Nice.
That's like real deal. Yeah.
Hey, Dad, what was your favorite part of Panama?
Of Panama?
Mm-hmm.
Anything but Cologne. Cologne is a city on the Caribbean side. Whew, what a hole that place is. It was bad. That was one of the worst cities I've been to. Well, I can't say that. I've been to some pretty bad cities. Love Panama City on the Pacific side. Incredible. I like the old many of you guys don't remember, but the French had hired a bunch of the Vietnamese, and the French came over to build the canal originally. So there's a really cool like Vietnamese town area, but right next to it is all French like corridor in Panama City. And it's really cool. Go there. Just really cool old French wooden architecture, but still made out of hardwood. And it's really cool. Yeah, really good stuff.
Hoofty's going there in 2 weeks.
I want to see the movie. I don't know who's seen it yet. Sean said he saw it, but Dumb Money. I want to watch that. You know me, Brent. I don't watch TV or I don't like movies, but somebody was telling me about it the other day, and it's about that whole GameStop thing that went down, but it's kind of done in sort of like a Wall Street view, but still humorous and still kind of a cool movie. Somebody said.
Oh,
Said it was
cool.
really good.
Got a little Big Short angle on it.
Yeah.
That's cool. People are mentioning a documentary about XRP coming out on Netflix. I'm gonna start looking for that. Okay, today's the day, everybody. I'm checking out Waters Above. That was also referenced in here.
Yeah.
Sir, I was not laughing at your worm farm. That's a Dumb and Dumber reference.
Of course, we knew that was a Dumb and Dumber.
God bless. God bless. One of the greatest movies. Same with Grumpier Old Men. Another classic.
Yeah.
I even liked that movie as a kid. Like, that's how good that movie was.
I was watching this. It was some Hollywood thing. Oh, the 50 greatest comedies ever made. And I'm watching it. It's going all the way down to 1. Dumb and Dumber wasn't on it. I was like, who in the hell? What? I'm out. I can't believe
Did either Ace Ventura make it?
What's that?
Did either Ace Ventura make it on there?
No.
Yeah, no.
I couldn't believe it. I'm like, who are these people? Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Yes, Waters Above. Brent, I told you the other night. I even sent you the link, didn't I? I believe I did.
He sent me the oil one. And then...
Oh, yeah, the oil one was good, too.
Today's the day. I have nothing else to do. Waters Above. It is.
Yes.
Thank you, crew.
Waters Above gives you a feeling of I'm in the right space. That crypto, the economy, the world, the way things are going, his very calming demeanor about his presentation, and that's really well done. And I'm a huge fan of his show. Huge. I just got turned on to his show just, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago. But I really love what he does. It's good stuff.
And shout out to J-Dan. I want to buy some acres, build a flying academy for youth, getting them interested in flying. I think that's amazing, man.
Yeah.
I was just talking to Sean last night about an idea he had like that. And I was just, how can I volunteer, man? Because that kind of stuff. If you're inspiring the youth, you're good in my book.
Yeah.
You're all good.
Yeah, I think there's so much you can do with money today. But let me do this again because I think it's so important. Find happiness and peace before the money, because when the money comes, it'll be far less important to you. It's so important to understand who we all are and become the full person that you can be. Like, nobody's stopping you from being whoever you want to be, other than the information that you obtain and the system that you listen to really changes everybody's lives. But yeah.
Oh yeah, I saw this one on there.
Uh-oh.
There's a documentary on Netflix called Bitcoin. Bitcoin. Looks interesting.
Create a little treat for people that suffer from. Oh, cool. Yeah. Love that, Becky. We need to stay in touch. Love that.
J-Dan, I'm actually applying for an airport position where I live here. It's a job I've wanted for a couple of years. And there's something about, because Dad and I are boat people, but there's something about flight and travel to me that is equally as fascinating, if not more. So, brother, I'd love to come out and fly with you guys.
Yeah.
See what you're up to.
Yeah.
Professor says Waters Above Mastermind course is really good. Oh, so check that out.
I'll bet that's he probably takes that to a whole new level. I can only imagine. Yeah. There's some Elizabeth C commented something in here.
Are we going Joey Ingram today?
Joey Ingram.
Is Joey Ingram again?
I don't know what you meant by that.
Yeah, I don't either.
Anyway.
Well, Christian, what did you think? Christian, what did you think of the Bitcoin documentary? It was about the CentraCoin scam. Very interesting. Oh, nice. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Yeah, I consider.
That's cool, Becky.
Yep. We have we have somebody that we work with, Melody. Sometimes she's in our chat that I talk to quite often, and she's going to be coming in and she's going to be sharing some of the stuff that she's involved in, and she works with. I don't even know how to say it, but she works with disadvantaged people. Let's put it that way. But it's been her lifelong dream. And she's invested in a few cryptos that I think if the bull run goes the way I think it's going to go, she'll be building her own school in that same area. And I really want to interview her because she's amazing in her skills. And she's really good about budgeting and retaining money and how to spend it wisely and that kind of thing. So we're really looking forward to getting her on the show too. But yeah, it's good stuff.
Oh, I forgot. Joey Ingram is a poker player. That's one of Elizabeth's favorite channels, is what she said. So if anybody's into that, check it out.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, Rye Guy. Good to have you.
There he is. Knew he'd show up sooner or later. I can't believe we've been on this thing for 2.5 hours.
Yeah, it's wild. That's why I threw the New Year's stuff in. I was like, let's keep it fresh.
Yeah.
Keep her moving.
Yeah.
Keep her moving.
Where are they getting together in a mass consumption party in Vegas?
Long Arrow, BC. Thank you.
Wayne Littlefield, we're going to be letting all that out before we get there. Hopefully you're going to join us there, right? No, Wayne is going to be there. Yeah, I knew that. We're going to be getting together on the Thursday before the show, which is the 2nd. And it's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah. So we'll get together on, by the way, I think we told everybody in the live stream, didn't we? But there's a guy, we haven't seen Ron in here lately, but I just talked to him. He's been really busy. Wish him a Happy New Year. But there's going to be a film crew, Brent. Not a crew, a couple of people shooting video of Brent and I and Elizabeth and anybody who meets up with us at Vegas. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be about, we're not going to interview the people in the show necessarily. We're going to interview the people who own crypto, which is you and I and everybody in this chat. So when you get there, we're going to make a kind of a documentary out of that, our experience in Vegas and your experience in Vegas, poolside or whatever, or wherever we meet up. And it's going to be a lot of fun because it's going to be just about us, you guys and us. And I'm really looking forward to that. And I have so many cool ideas that have been rattling around in my head. And hopefully we can make that happen. But it's going to be fun, really fun. Yeah. Brenda will be in it for sure. Brenda was at our table at the Breeze Bar last year where Zach had his meetup. And boy, it was fun. That's where I met Sean. I met all kinds of people in the chat. So it was good. Yeah. and Wayne's going to be there. Guys, all kinds of people being there. Looks like.
Thank you, Long Arrow BZ. XRP Unleashed is the documentary coming out on Netflix.
Somebody sent me that. Somebody sent me that it was coming out, but I didn't know when.
Were you trying to do a live stream from Las Vegas? Actually, Becky, yes. And I thought about doing a video specifically for you when I heard that you were not going to be able to go. So, for sure.
Yeah.
Got to happen. Dad did a good one, and we did one together for the symposium, but I think we both regretted not doing more. I certainly did. So this is the time when we're not hanging out with you guys and just shooting the S word. We should be filming and working on that documentary, working on videos. So those of you that can't be there, get the experience and get enough of a taste to where, wow, maybe that's something I really do want to save up and go to, next year. So I'm getting on it. I'm bringing the camera.
I love the chat so much. I'm really getting used to it now, finally. But an old man technology stuff. But I really, really prefer people in person. It's really when I can really open up and talk, and I don't have to worry about YouTube and what they believe and whether or not you and I believe in any of that stuff. We can just share whatever we want to talk about when we're in person together, hanging out. So it's going to be a lot of fun, guys, and we're gonna really do as many shows as possible while we're there. The content in the show for me is kind of a little bit less important. I'm not trying to say that I'm not going to listen to a lot of it, but I really want to be there to meet you guys, because you people are the real deal. That's what XRP is the people, and that's why we're all going there. The presentations are cool. 90% of that stuff we've already heard. We already know all that stuff. So it's really what we don't know is who you are, where you came from, and what you like, and what color's your car, and what kind of dog have you got, and what are you up to? And like we've been in the chat here, what are you going to buy with your wealth? It's so much fun. Yeah. Elizabeth and I did a poolside last year, and it was comical because the camera was crooked and sideways, and then the pool crew kicked us out. I think it was our very first live stream, wasn't it, Elizabeth?
Yeah. It was funny. You guys did a good job on that.
You can still find it. It's still on our channel somewhere. It's hilarious. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You did a couple videos. There's one in the hotel room.
Yeah. Yeah, we did.
Market.
Yeah.
Market correction is happening. XRP 54 cents. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had that nice little bump up and then it corrected.
Yeah.
Why? Win Moon. Wear Lambo. Why? Soon enough.
Nice.
Right,
Flathead
let's
Lake.
pick up some more.
There you go. A cherry orchard in Flathead Lake. There you go, Becky. Now you're talking.
Yeah.
You know what's strange, Becky, is I sent you an email one time with my phone number on it. I thought you'd call me, but you never did. I wanted to talk to you about that document you sent me, but that was months ago. But anyway.
Mr. Lee, that's awesome. You did that. Not that you lost your job, but I've been in that same boat, actually.
Yeah.
Not that much XRP, but
Lambo,
yeah, Brenda, Lambo and a McMansion.
Of course.
Let's go. Let's correct back the other direction, baby. Come on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you did send me a couple texts. Yeah. All right. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, Wayne had a problem with Uphold recently. I was going to do a video about that, but he had a problem with Uphold, and that's not good news. I didn't like hearing that at all. Becky, I've been all around Flathead Lake, all around it. I have one of my best friends lived in Whitefish. Tommy April, Brent lives
Cool.
in, yeah. Well, he inherited a bunch of property there. And let's ski. I skied Big Sky. I fished the whole state. One time I took a month, 30 days, just me and my fly rods in my truck, and just fished Montana. Well, I did a little bit of Utah on the way out. Yeah, cool. She grew up in Whitefish. Yeah, I know Whitefish pretty well. And also spent some time in Missoula. We had a good friend that was a friend of ours, was a teacher there. And let's see. Robert, where are you going to ski tomorrow? Glacier Park. Yeah, you live right outside of Glacier Park, right? So I used to fish. I don't know if you know where this is but it's called, I'm sure Becky knows where it is, but it's just outside of a little town, middle of nowhere called Dillon. And I learned about I used to be a fly fishing guide, and we learned a lot about how to read water and how to read runoff. And we ended up figuring out where there would be big trout, and it was in eastern Montana and the Blackfoot Indian Reservation. And it was a guess, it was a hunch on our part, and we found lakes that nobody fished in. It was on the reservation. We had to get permission to be on the reservation, and had absolutely the best time fishing there for like 3 or 4 years before anybody even knew those giant trout were in there. Yeah. Yeah, Dillon. Yeah, there was nobody back there then. Yeah, pretty, very Western town, if you will. Yeah.
Oh, very cool. Who?
Yeah.
Yes.
We got the boss back there.
Slave just
It's cool.
said, any thoughts on the ledger stacks? And I never looked it up, but that is what it is. So we've got an external.
What's going on? Are you doing the 10-hour live stream?
Yeah, we're doing a 10-hour.
We live here now.
Cool.
Was made for day-to-day use of your crypto and NFTs with clarity and comfort. Clear sign your transactions with ease on the world's first curved e-ink touchscreen. Name it, customize the lock screen with your favorite NFT or photo, make Ledger Stacks yours.
Brenda says, hi, Elizabeth.
Bluetooth, USB-C, touchscreen, wireless charging, customizable, 5,000 plus coins supported. Windows, Mac, Android, and iOS. That sounds really awesome, Slave. We need those devices to exist and be easy and usable and have all those features. Hey, Vern.
Yeah.
What's going on?
There's Elizabeth.
Man, is it Chilly Willy there?
Oh, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
cold here.
It's very
for
cold.
us, it's cold.
Mm-hmm.
It almost snowed here, for God's sakes. Yeah, huge rainbows in those lakes.
Rainbow.
Becky, I was fishing a lake called Mission Lake on the reservation. There's 3 or 4 all kind of next to each other. Yeah, fun stuff. Big rainbows. Yeah, a lot of fun. They were like the size of salmon. I'm not kidding you. Wow, 14 degrees there.
Ooh,
No,
14. You got us beat.
We're like 40 here, I would say, today.
It's 40, but
Yeah.
when you're used to every day being 65, 40 is like, I don't know, it's not, it's boo-hoo, right?
Yeah,
It's chilly.
Yeah. Exactly, Becky. Mission Lake, Kip Lake, Duck Lake, those are the ones. Yep. on the reservation. Well, I was fishing there. Check this out. I was fishing on those lakes in late 70s. Does that sound right? No. Early 80s. Early 80s. And we found it geologically. We knew what we were doing.
You going out, Ruby?
Yeah, we knew what we were doing. We knew how to find springs, crystal clear springs from the mountains to the east or west of wherever you were fishing. Anyway, I don't bore everybody with fly fishing stuff.
Cody says hi, Elizabeth.
Jason said, yeah, she's dressed for Nova Scotia. Yeah, she's got her toque on. She's very Canadian.
You have to get covered.
Yeah.
It's ball time. And Golden doesn't care what's going on.
Yeah. And that's her farm jacket, her ball throwing.
Oh yeah, sorry, this is a gross jacket.
Yeah, that's her ball throwing jacket. Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Lee. And we would love to see you there and then go straight to your place and eat some perch and walleye.
Yeah.
Immediately, like on the plane, and go wherever you're at, bro.
Mr. Lee, stay in touch for sure. We are going to be at Vegas, and we're going to be interviewing you and other people at the show is our idea. Hopefully we won't get too many people, but I'd like to get everybody we can just to say hey and what's up. And so people like Becky who can't make it get to talk to everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep. Good stuff. It's going to be fun. I can't wait. XTC is under 5 cents, huh? Wow.
Woo.
Yeah, we must be having a dump.
Might be, yeah. Yeah.
31 else. Oh wow, Lake Erie. That's a little chilly.
That's very chilly.
Good Lordy.
You got anything else you wanted to talk about, Dad?
No, just kind of having fun. Just saying hey to everybody in the chat.
Yeah, me too.
It's gonna be good.
I'm digging it.
Although I could use the sandbox.
I just
yeah, please, anybody that can come to Vegas, please show up. Please stay in touch with us. You can get us the Staple Crew. We have a website, but we're gonna tell everybody more and more what we're gonna be doing, and we're gonna how are we gonna work? Well, we'll work out the logistics when we get closer to the date. So it's May, so we got a few months, but it's gonna be good. XRP Slave. Yeah, I drove a boat right up through that hole. I went up through the Great Lakes. I went right by Thousand Island. I went through the St. Lawrence Seaway. I went through the Erie Canal to get there on a pretty big boat, a 100-foot yacht through that tiny Erie Canal. It was a blast. I really enjoyed that whole area and the people. I found it was funny, before I got to Montreal, I'd heard so much about it, and then when I got there, it was completely different than everything I'd ever heard. It was way more fun and way more cool than I'd ever even thought it was going to be. Yeah, it was really good. Well, that seems like about it. Everybody's got something better to do with their Sunday, I'm sure.
Trying to find the message on the national debt clock. Longer that's something unique.
Yeah. Yeah, and God, Hart's Castle, that whole thing is cool, really cool. I never got to go on that island, but I drove a boat right by it. Yeah.
You coming up, buddy? He's coming up.
There comes my dog again.
Nice. He's a good boy.
He's my little boy.
He's got a hug. Not enough hugs.
He loves people.
Not
Yeah.
enough hugs. You're a clown. Okay, let's go, buddy.
Yeah.
You're a real clown.
Yeah, man. Stay in touch, Mr. Lee, because we got a lot going on. The first half of the show was a lot more informative. We're just kind of hanging out with people now. But
Yeah.
good.
Thanks, Robert.
Yep. Okay, B-man. I got chores to do. I got animals to feed.
Yep. I got Waters Above to watch
Yes.
today.
Mandatory viewing.
There'll be a full report next Sunday.
Say goodbye to everybody. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Elizabeth. All right. Love you guys. We'll see you next week.
Love
See
you
guys.
all.
Yep.
Looking